Yes! Good morning, everyone. This is Kyle, and today I'm going to be reacting to a Transtrender. And if you haven't been keeping up with Calvin Guerra, it's Rin. This name is Rin, and basically they are the most immature on the planet. When Calvin called them out, they sent their followers to attack him. And when Calvin tried to have a civil discussion with them, they just used male passing as an insult. Like, yeah, that's literally the point of transitioning, is to pass as the gender you feel more connected with. So yeah, they made a video titled Transtrenders, and I started watching it, and it was ridiculous, and I wanted to react to it. I've been wanting to do this for a while because nothing grinds my gears more than people who fake being trans, so let's get it. My thing is gonna be so fucked. Like, I'm really going to
shoot someone. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Rin, and
hey, there we go.
Boy, do we have a video. This is gonna be a Rin Rambles. If you've never heard of these before, it's basically where I just ramble on about things that either bother me or I don't understand. And this time, it's a serious one. Like I wrote notes. Now, I've done a video on gender and sexuality before, but I guess this is me just rambling about gender. Sorry. I am so...
That's nasty.
I don't know how you say it in English, but like in Finnish.
Oh my god. Dude, why would you pick your nose on camera? What the that is so nasty, dude. Like... God damn. That's so nasty, bro.
Anyways, so I made a gender and sexuality video when I first started my channel because a lot of people were very confused about me. And
we still are.
I've come to realize that people are still confused about me. So this is a video where I explain just what the fuck is going on with me, who I am, etc. But the biggest point of topic that I want to talk about in this video is transtrenders. So if you don't know what that is, a transtrender, which does not exist.
Yes, they do. Transtrenders, if you don't know, a transtrender is someone who fakes being trans for either attention or because they're really confused. This kid is both. I can't get over the face right now.
This right here is my pretty boy.
Look at the eyes.
Pretends to be trans.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come back to that. Look at their eyes, okay. No, I need images. Oh my god. Oh my god, do you see the difference? Because I don't.
Which does not exist, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
Is someone who...
Like, I literally had encounters with actual transtrenders. Like, there was this on Instagram once who completely faked their identity, told people they were trans when literally they weren't, literally stole somebody's pictures and claimed that was them. And they were a cis girl, mind you, that they stole the pictures from. They were like, oh, I'm trans. No, you're not, dude. They even admitted to not being trans. Like, bro. And also, the whole dysphoria debate started with a cis woman who pretended to be trans and hated trans men. And she did that for money, dude. Like, cis girl pretended to be a trans woman, still is, and told people she was gonna use money and donations for transitioning, but used it to buy video games and other useless that she didn't need. And also she hated trans men for some reason and claimed that they were more privileged than cis men, said awful things about them. So when you say you don't need dysphoria to be trans, you side with a transphobic fraud. I'm just saying.
Who pretends to be trans for the sake of just like and giggles, which I don't know why you would ever do that, because there's nothing fun about it.
You're right, there is nothing fun about it. But like, you're actually doing it for and giggles, dude. Like, that's so hypocritical. Like, for real, Calvin asked them about their dysphoria, which is something that trans people talk about all the time. They got defensive. They were really immature about it. Like, and I'll link Calvin's video into the description.
But essentially that's what it is. It's the concept of someone faking being trans. Stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Anyways, so I woke up one morning and people were just calling me a woman and a transtrender.
That's because you present as a woman.
And I found the source of it, and you know, these last couple of days I've been dealing with a lot of harassment. You can go to any YouTube video, any of my YouTube videos, and look at the comments and see just what the I've been dealing with. And that's on all my socials. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I've been dealing with harassment. So that's cool, fun, and fresh. You know, let's really break this down. So what's the definition of a transgender person? I'm going to ask Google. Transgender, denoting or relating a person whose sense of personal identity does not correspond with the birth sex. So, your personal identity, which is, you know, inside of you, in your brain here, does not match what sex you were born as. Okay? Now, I am non-binary, and non-binary is under the trans umbrella. Now, a lot of people are confused because they're like, how can you be non-binary and a boy? That makes no sense. Non-binary literally means not in the binary, but being male is binary. Let me explain. So,
prepare yourselves.
actually, you know what? I'm going to draw a chart. Notepad.
Oh, damn.
I feel like
here we go!
So, let's see. So, this is my chart. Let's say this is female.
Literally.
And this is male. And, you know, in this division would be, like, typically where you would expect a non-binary person to.
That's not true because they're outside of the binary. That chart, like, that's literally the most incorrect thing I ever heard. Like, in the middle would be, like, probably, like, androgynous or like, I don't know, but non-binary is, like, outside of that binary. Like, you can't be both binary and non-binary. That in itself is paradoxical.
To be, right? Okay. I'm not here. I'm somewhere over here.
Then why do you present female?
So you see how I'm not explicitly male? So I'm not strictly male, and I'm not strictly neutral. Like, I float around in this little area right here.
No, you don't.
So, I'm a non-binary boy.
You literally can't be non-binary and binary at the same time. That makes zero sense to me. Like, like, yes, you can be masculine aligned non-binary, but you can't be both. And you know, the reason this pisses me off so much is because look at this. Completely presents female. Wore a shirt once that said some like girl power or some like that. Like, yeah, it's okay to be feminine, but like when you're claiming you're trans and not even making an effort to pass, it's kind of hard to believe you're trans. Like, I know this kid has money because they have a huge following on all their platforms and literally do make up for money. and I know they have resources because they have the money. Like, a binder on GC2B costs like $33, and if you can buy makeup from Too Faced, you can buy a binder, okay?
People get confused because since non-binary is under the trans umbrella, it's technically trans. But I do not consider myself, like, I'm not going to transition. And now
That's because you don't have dysphoria.
Get into that too, transitioning. People have a lot to say about how I present myself. And let me make it clear, like, off the bat. And so people are like, why do you present as a girl? I don't present as a girl.
Yes, you do! Bro! Oh my god! Holy shit, that makes no sense to me. Clearly, you present female. You can't expect people to not call you she if you present female. We assume genders all the time. It's natural. And literally, if you saw this person, like, in the street, had no idea who the they were, your brain would automatically be like, she.
I present as feminine.
Okay, there's a difference between presenting feminine and presenting female. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, a good example would be Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye. Cis male, 100% feminine. This kid presents female. You can't tell me otherwise.
I present femininely. I don't present as a girl.
Yes, you do.
That makes sense. Then comes the topic of dysphoria, which people say, Rin, you have no dysphoria, obviously, because you dress so femininely and you say you're a boy, and it just does not make sense, you fucking fake. And I'm just like, okay. Makeup, clothes, shoes, whatever, accessories, I don't care. It is all gender neutral. Everything is gender neutral. As soon as I, like, have an article of clothing, it's neither boy or girl. It's mine.
Yes. This reminds me of Calvin's video with Brennan. This is a gender fluid shirt. Like, yeah, this is also a transgender hat. Like,
gender expression does not equal gender identity. And I said this before in my previous video, but I guess it went through everyone's heads. The way I present myself does not have any correlation to what I identify as.
I mean, they're not wrong here. If you can't present yourself as your identified gender because you're in an unsafe environment or for whatever reason, that's fine. It's totally fine if you can't transition, but if you, like, don't because I'm non-dysphoric, yeah, you. This kid has actually said that trying to transition made them uncomfortable. And you know what that's called? Dysphoria. That's called reverse dysphoria.
It just doesn't. In the LGBT community, we should not be fighting at all. The whole point of the LGBT community is to have a community for us, like a safe space for us. And
I mean, they're not wrong, but, like, if you're, like, protruding yourself into a space that you clearly don't belong in, that's when it becomes a problem.
To have people who are gatekeeping and, you know, calling each other trenders and pushing people out, making people scared and questioning their gender for the fear that someone might call them a trender, like, that is unacceptable. This is the American Psychiatric Association, APA. This is where I'm reading it from. So what is gender dysphoria? Gender dysphoria involves the conflict between a person's physical and assigned gender and the gender on which he, she, they identify. People with gender dysphoria may be uncomfortable with their gender assigned, sometimes described as being uncomfortable with their body. So, a lot of people claim that I do not experience gender dysphoria, which I do, and I'll get into that in a minute, because of the way I present. And that makes no sense.
It does. You can't present female and expect people to call you he. That makes no sense.
If you were a boy, then putting on makeup would make you dysphoric. It's like, no, because I'm a boy in makeup. How come cis men can do it?
I mean, they're not wrong here. Cis men do it because they want to. Like, yeah, most people, most trans people, trans men or whatever, they most of the time they don't put on makeup because it makes them dysphoric. Like, there are trans guys who wear makeup. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, when you actively present female, just stop.
And I can't. Why? Because I have a vagina? Like, does that suddenly, like, make me, like, fake trans? Doesn't make any sense.
You
right?
present female.
Like, people think that to be certified trans, to be suicidal, you have to hate your body, you have to hate yourself, you have to just be in so much pain and suffering and misery that you just, like...
That none of that is true. People say you need dysphoria to be trans. They don't say you have to be suicidal. They don't say that you have to hate yourself or your body, which being trans and having dysphoria has nothing to do with. It's having discomfort with the assigned gender you were born as. That's just all the stuff that comes with being trans and having dysphoria. Like, I'm sorry if you think that's negative about being trans, but that's the truth, and being trans should never be sugarcoated like that.
Can't handle the fact that, that you can't handle your body, and that is not true. That is so not true. Now, I started questioning my gender 6 years ago. I've been identifying with the term non-binary since I was 16, so that's 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 4 years. And 6 years ago is when I started, questioning, something isn't right here. And 6 years ago, so I was, 14. So I was in, that weird puberty time, and I was realizing that nothing makes sense.
That's normal. That's literally normal. Because it's totally new, and so therefore it doesn't really make sense to you. Like,
very uncomfortable with everything that was happening.
Aren't we all?
And so in the early years of me being non-binary, I had a lot of issues with my chest, and I hated myself. I didn't...
That's called dysmorphia. And a lot of people get dysphoria and dysmorphia confused. So, dysmorphia has, literally nothing to do with your gender. It literally has to do with your body parts. Dysphoria is everything to do with your gender.
It's gonna sound kind of gross, but, I didn't even want to look at, when I peed. I didn't even want to look when I wiped.
Literally.
And it was a very hard time. Because I did not have the friends that I do now. I don't have the community that I do now. I didn't have anyone to talk to, and it was very...
Neither did I. Going through puberty, I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. Did that make me trans at that time? No.
Very difficult for me. And throughout the years, I've realized that there is not one way to look non-binary. Non-binary doesn't have a look.
I mean, they're not wrong here, but, they present female, so, I
use he, him pronouns because that's what makes me comfortable. And that's what I feel. That's what, in my brain, that's what I feel. My presentation has nothing to do with what's going up on here.
I mean, they're not wrong there, but, again, if you're, in a room full of strangers, they're going to be she. If you present female, you can't expect people to be if you go into a room of people you don't know and expect them to call you he, they're not gonna call you he. That makes no sense.
Is something that I did not want to talk about because it is very personal to me, but at this point, I feel like I just have to, because it's why would I fake this? Why would...
For attention and money.
People have been telling me that I've been faking this for views, faking this for my makeup artistry, for everything, and I started all of this a year and some change ago. This isn't new. I've been like this. My dysphoria comes from my uterus. So I, during my period, have a very, very hard time, and it's a very difficult time for me, even though it's a week. When I started birth control, I did the 3-month thing because I wanted it to be gone. I wanted that to be relieved. But my body didn't like that. It kind of reacted badly with it. So I had to start a birth control that is now monthly. So basically I'm at where I started, you know what I mean? So my dysphoria comes from having like just like fallopian tubes and like, oh god, it just like makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. I don't know a single person who likes their period. Like, I literally, hate mine. Does that make me trans? No. Having discomfort with my assigned gender makes me trans, okay?
You know, like baby making parts. I just want it out.
They make surgery for that.
You know what I mean? And I can live with my chest because I've learned that this is my body, my home, and you cannot love dysphoria away.
I mean, they're not wrong there. You can't love dysphoria away. But, like, no actual trans person comes to terms with their body. Like, they literally make top surgery for a reason. Like, bro.
Do not get me wrong, but I'm not gonna sit here and be miserable about it. So I've accepted that this is my body because boys can have vaginas and boys can have boobs.
That's because you don't have dysphoria.
You know, there are people that will never have the money to do these surgeries and these hormone replacements, and, you know, that doesn't make them any less of who they are.
I mean, they're not wrong. If you can't transition, that's fine. If you can't transition because you're financially unstable, or if you're in a dangerous environment, or if transitioning medically will kill you, then yeah, that doesn't make you any less trans. But like when you like don't transition because you don't have dysphoria, you.
Even if a trans person has the money, they don't have to get surgery. No one has to get surgery. No one has to go to hormone replacement. No one has to do that.
Yeah,
and they're still trans. Like, wow, shocker, mind-blowing. And, you know, some people are not in safe areas where they can fully transition. Like, some people literally get killed over this. So, to say that someone's a trender, you know, what if they're living in a place or in a space where it's just not safe for them to transition? There's so many things that you have to put into consideration. You can't just look at someone and be like, you experience no dysphoria.
Okay, they're not wrong. If you can't transition, that's fine. But they present female, act like it, and they wear girl power shirts. And they have money and resources, but choose not to use them. That's why people are triggered over this. I shouldn't say triggered. Like,
yeah, you're a trender, you're fake, you're faking it. Like, it's just the most idiotic thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, you don't know people just because you see them from the surface. Like, everyone's experiences are valid. Like, there's not one sure pathway of being trans. I think people need to realize that everyone experiences dysphoria differently. There is not one way. Not everyone wants to rip off their boobs and rip off their genitals. Like, there are tons of trans women who keep their penises. And there are tons of trans men who are just okay with, you know, having a vagina. And it doesn't make you, like, fake trans. It just means that they've gotten to a point where they can experience loving themselves, and you can do that. You can be trans and love yourself and not fully be like surgically
I have no words for that.
Altered and, you know, use hormones. You can still be happy in your body. It's so harmful for trans youth to see this because there are people who throw around transtrender and like, can you imagine if someone was questioning their gender and decided to go with a label to see how they feel, and someone just bombarded them with trans, like, you're so fake, you're a transgender, you're faking it. Like, do you know how that...
If they make it clear that they're questioning, then that's cool. Like, I haven't seen a single instance where somebody was questioning and somebody called them a gender. Like, bro, you're just making up at this point.
I could easily push someone away from experimenting with themselves and finding themselves. You know, there are a lot of trans people who experience gender euphoria because they've come to accept themselves.
You see, the thing with gender euphoria is that it's a result of underlying dysphoria. So, like, even if you don't realize that you have dysphoria, it means like, and you get gender euphoria. That means you have dysphoria. You can't have gender euphoria without gender dysphoria.
And their bodies, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why it's a big deal to love yourself. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer or be sad or be just angry and just hate yourself and just...
Except the problem is that literally comes with being trans, because you're fucking uncomfortable with yourself and you can't do anything about it. There is literally no reason to sugarcoat being trans, and that's one of the ways how 2Cutes have ruined this community. It was like, oh, being trans is such a wonderful thing. No, it's not. It's literally hell on earth. There's literally no reason to sugarcoat being trans, like...
to be valid, to be trans. That's not what it is, you know? And, you know, there might be at some point where a trans person who experiences dysphoria comes in terms with euphoria, and they don't have dysphoria anymore. And
okay, look, if you're trans, you're always gonna have dysphoria, no matter what. Like, there's no sugarcoating that. Like, even if you've completely medically transitioned, there are some things that will trigger your dysphoria, okay? Like, bro, it's never gonna go away.
still trans. Like, come on now. Like, let's use our brain cells here. Let's use all our mitochondria.
You're one to talk.
Let's talk about passing. A lot of people say you don't make an effort to pass. And even when I was masculine, I still didn't pass. So
see, you can expect that. Like, there's no expecting, like, oh, I 100% pass. There's no expecting that. Like, bro, unless you have a lot of masculine features, there's no expecting to pass.
me dressing and doing the things that I do now, like, I'm non-binary. What am I supposed to look like? I think passing is so irrelevant. Like, I know I'm gonna get misgendered. Of course I'm gonna get misgendered. I look like this.
Act like it!
Frankly, I don't give a flying about what other people think about me, because, you know, at the end of the day, I know who I am.
Yeah, clearly you give a because you sent your followers to attack Calvin.
And that's all that matters. If I find someone and I'm making friends, or, you know, I introduce myself, or, you know, like, my pronouns come up, I'm like, hey, I'm Rin, I'm non-binary, nice to meet you. You know, it's like, I don't care what the general public looks at me or sees me as, or, you know, that doesn't affect me, because my gender expression is so feminine that I know that I'm going to get misgendered regardless.
Why don't you act like it? Like, yeah, if you present female, you're gonna get misgendered. If you identify as fucking non-binary and actively present female, don't even make an effort, like, bro.
If I was masculine, I'd still face the same thing. I get misgendered regardless. So I might as well do what makes me happy, which is dressing colorful and wearing a buttload of makeup. And, you know, if someone misgenders me, I correct them and I introduce myself as non-binary. That's it. We just have to stop the gatekeeping. We have to stop you don't look the way that I want you to look, so you're not trans, so you're a trender. You don't experience the same dysphoria that I do, so you're obviously a trender.
I mean, they're not wrong that everybody experiences dysphoria on a different level. Like, everybody experiences dysphoria on a different level. Yeah, clearly they don't, because, like, presenting female as a non-binary person or a trans boy probably would make you uncomfortable. Like, you can't present as your birth gender and expect people to call you he or they or whatever you want to go by. You can't do that. Like, that makes no sense to me.
You don't do these things that I need to do to make myself feel better, so you're a transtrender. Like, it's dumb. It's so dumb to think that there is one solid way to be trans or non-binary or anything. Honestly, it's internalized transphobia. because I've had trans people, all my mentions, my DMs, everything just call me a woman.
That's because you present as a female.
She, her, female. And it's like, oh, but I'm trans. I can't be transphobic. Yes, you can.
I mean, they're not wrong there. You can, like, if somebody can't transition and you're being an asshole about it, then that's not cool. But, like, you can't present female, claim you're trans, and not expect to get attacked for it. Like, bro.
You absolutely can be trans and be transphobic. You're not trans and suddenly you get like a free pass to be an asshole and just misgender people purposely. I just want people to know that if you ever come to terms that you love yourself and you find ways that make your dysphoria lessen, it's great. Like, it doesn't make you any less trans. I'm a pretty strong person. So, like, if people come for me, like...
Yeah, you sent your followers to attack Calvin. Oh my god. Oh, I'm done.
I don't go. But it's like, the messages I've been receiving lately, it's pretty dangerous, man. Like, if I was a weaker person, like, that could really take someone out.
You sent your followers to attack Calvin. If you really didn't care that much and you were that strong, you wouldn't have fucking done that. Like, bro.
And all for what? Because I'm feminine? Because I don't fit into your cookie cutter of what a non-binary person who's actually in between boy and nothing, just because I don't fit there. You know, I've learned to cope with my dysphoria, and I'm sorry that other people have not found that yet, but when you do, and I hope you do, because it's an awful, awful feeling. Not cured. My dysphoria isn't cured. It isn't gone. You know, it's still here, and it will still be here until I can finally, you know, get a hysterectomy. But I can't right now. I'm 20 years old. I'm completely healthy. No one's gonna do it, and it's a lot of money. So you're trans as that's it. That's it. That's all it is. No matter what these pieces of tell you, you are trans as hell. If your experiences aren't...
Okay, you know, I have to stop here because this is fucking annoying and ridiculous. How do I word this? It's okay to be cis. It's not okay to pretend to be trans because person like Bryn told you, oh, you don't need dysphoria to be trans, you're trans enough. Yeah, you know what harm that does? That teaches people who don't have dysphoria and they're cis, that teaches them that anybody can be trans, and then they try to transition, and then they get reverse dysphoria, and if they've totally transitioned to the point to where they no longer recognize themselves, that they're not gonna go back, their body's not gonna go back to the way it once was. And their life was ruined. You know why? Because somebody told them that you don't need dysphoria to be trans. Like, bro.
The same as theirs, and they are haggling you about it. And I don't know, you can just suck a bag of like, truly, honestly, there's no reason for you to be so hateful to people for absolute no reason. Absolute no fucking reason, unless you're just a total and if that's you, then I am so sorry, but you are going to live a miserable, miserable life. There's no reason for you to hate someone for being themselves. So, you know, let's reiterate. You don't have to suffer to be trans. You don't have to fit all these cookie cutter labels to be trans. If you know you're trans, then you're...
Okay, you know, it's not about being miserable. That comes with being trans. There's no avoiding that. And if you go to an expert, as in a doctor and not internet personalities that Bex Taylor Klaus calls sources, 99% of the time, those doctors will say that you need to have dysphoria on some level to be trans.
Trans. And, I don't know what that fourth finger is for. The fourth finger is just for you, if you call people trenders. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off because I've said all I needed to say. And if people still call me a trender after this, then that's on them.
You're a trender.
It's wasted energy because I'm making power moves. 2019 is the year where I'm gonna blow shit up, so it's honest.
Yeah, you know what I find hilarious about this? They attack Calvin like, oh, I'm gonna be successful. How many followers do you have? If it would close. Rin has 35,000 followers, and Calvin has 250-something followers. 260, almost like halfway to 300,000. On the YouTube hierarchy scale, you're beneath Calvin, sorry. I also gotta say that they blocked everybody that followed Calvin just because they followed Calvin. Like, they used a mass website to, like, block people that followed Calvin. Like, how immature is that? Like, bro. Alright, I'm done here. I'm gonna start editing, even though I should probably do my homework, but thanks for watching. I think I lost like 20 brain cells from that. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Take care of you.